Welcome back to our channels, Warriors. We are still growing. If you haven't had your prima smash that subscribe button, go ahead and have them smash it right now. First and foremost, let me give a shout out to the following patrons: Linda, Shananay, Guerrero, Michigan Wolverines, Josh, Jon Wick, Mikey 559, Marius, Andrew, Louise, CharMandy, Robert, Johnny, Chevelle, Renso, GiGi, Abuelitas Journey, and DAUSHERRERO. If you haven't signed up for the Patreon, the link is in the description below. You're missing out. This episode right here is gonna be about snitches, rats, informants. Snitches get stitches, right? That's what they say. That's what the street code is. That's what we've heard. Is it true, Hector? How does it operate in the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation? Is it something to take lightly? Absolutely not. 100% absolutely not. Going back to what? The Italian mafia, Italian mob, where you'll be waking up sleeping with the fishes, right? Well, you're not going to be waking up, but you're definitely going to be sleeping with the fishes, right? Concrete shoes, bottom of the lake you go, never to be seen again. There is a code, right? There is a code amongst a code, right? Well, without dabbling too much or going off topic, if gang members participate in a crime together, right? Or criminals don't necessarily got to be gang members. I mean, just if somebody commits a crime in the presence of others who are all on board, right? And then somebody starts singing like a canary down at the police station, right? Singing like a bird. It is not going to end well for that individual. All right, what can some consequences be? I automatically think the worst, the most, right? They're going to take your life. They're 100% going to attempt to take your life. That is the extreme, but it's not even an extreme. Like in this world of violence, that is not extreme at all. It's very plausible, reasonable, right? That's one example, being at the police station and just giving up, oh, my buddy, man, right? They say plead the fifth. I've watched in the movies, plead the fifth, right? So in prison, let's start from the beginning. Centinela State Prison. Do people tell? People are always gonna tell, man. People in green tell. Why? Why would you do this, right? Well, what are you guys doing that they're telling? Don't worry about what we're doing, right? Nothing drastic. What I'm trying to tell you guys is telling is telling. Telling is telling. You can be a little kid in kindergarten and be like, oh, Billy over there put gum in my hair. Well, you didn't have to tell on the kid. We could see the bubblicious in your dreads, girl. Damn. So the way they would inform, and this was Centinela State Prison from the year 2007 to the year 2014. Those are the years I was at that prison. General population and level 4, Charlie Yard. They can put in a slip, right? They can put in a slip in the medical form and say, this is great. This is a great tactic in case you guys didn't already know. Some of you guys have already tapped into the comments and like, I knew this was happening. They would be like, oh, Smiley over there in cell 148 and his Sally Joker, they are selling heroin. They got knives in the cell. They got cell phones, right? So high-speed sergeant comes. Oh, not on my watch. Let's go, fellas. Rounds up the troops. Goes over there, hits Smiley's pad. Oh, what do you know? Look in the light fixture. There's the contraband. Look at the little safe in the cell, right? They hollow out the desk. They hollow out the bunk. They put soap over it. Would have never known the difference. Find it all, right? Now, the homie who wrote the kite, now his business is thriving, right? He just got rid of the competition. You see how that works? The homie just got rid of the competition. Easy peasy. Ain't gotta watch my back anymore. Let's get out this black, brown, white, right? So, that's how that goes. That's how that goes. There was times, and I don't blame these fellas right here. I don't blame these fellas. Inmate can be on the yard, right, following under a certain umbrella. They tell him, here's your weapon. I want you to go hit this dude, right? You and the other homie are going to go and hit this guy, right? We're not going to tell you why. You don't need to know. You're just going to hit him. So they give him the weapon. Nope, not on my watch. Ain't going to do it. You ain't going to add more time to my sentence. They'd get the weapon. They'd walk straight to the sergeant's office and say, Sergeant, here, boom. They want me to hit so-and-so. I don't want to hit him. I need to get off this yard. I need to get off this yard. Turned around, puts himself in handcuffs. Well, he didn't put himself in handcuffs. We put the individual in handcuffs, right? And off to the ADSEG you go. Off to the hole you go, right? Because that's going to highly upset the fellas, right? It's going to highly upset the fellas. The person that was supposed to get stabbed is like, hey, what's all that commotion over there? Don't worry about it, my boy. We got you. You want to go do some burpees and get your heartbeat racing so we can stab you in about 5 minutes, right? No, another one that I saw, Charlie visiting, level 4 GP. This one was kind of wild, right? I mean, they're all wild, but this one was kind of wild, right? It was an Armenian inmate, right? The Armenians fall under the Southsiders. Well, Armenian power, right? They were following under the Southsiders, right? So, man, I guess one of the Southsiders walks up to that Armenian and says, here, stick this in your butt. You got to bring that back to the yard. It was a bundle of dope, right? He's like, hell nah. That's exit only, my boy. Gets it, walks it right up to the podium. ACO. That homie right there starts pointing 2 fingers. That homie right there wants me to bring back this dope back to that yard. Oh, man. That was wild. That was wild because everybody watched that individual walk up to the podium and do that. Imagine you got family members that know what's up. Family members that know what time it is. They're like, oh, mija, you want some popcorn? Mija, you want some Doritos? Like, oh, you got the dude that just handed them like upset and scared at the same time. Upset and scared at the same time. Imagine what that looks like. Immediately, our job in green, right, guards, officers, is to ensure the safety of that inmate, right? Because unless you're brand new, naive, and don't have a clue of what's happening, you know that what just transpired was all bad on so many different levels, right? And the propensity for violence, right? I just gave you examples. Let's go, homie. It is in your best bet that you get put in handcuffs and we escort you to the back away from anybody else, right? For your safety. So, yeah, that's what that would look like. That is like legitimate telling, right? Telling is telling. I already told you what telling is. Now go over to Donovan, Hector. No, Donovan is what broke you, Hector. Well, why would it break you? Let me rewind real quick. There is ISU, the Investigative Services Unit, the Goon Squad, right? Squad. They have the black patches. They do investigations. Well, when I was an officer at Centinela, I would be in ADSEG at times and walk the tier, do what I got to do, and the inmate would be like, "Hey, CO, I need to talk to IGI, the gang investigator. I got information." Sometimes I would kind of just blow it off. Like, man, this dude's trying to gain something. This dude just wants an extra lunch. Because sometimes they would manipulate the system. They'd just be joyriding to the ISU and just singing like a canary, right? I would do my due diligence, let the dude know, you know, in an ISU, hey, you want to talk to this guy? This guy says he wants to talk to you. He would either say, yeah, that guy always has credible information, or man, I'm getting tired of that dude, right? So now you guys know what happens on Greenside. At Centinela, you do not get, the squad is not going to walk up to anybody, the black patches. They don't even like talking to regular yellow patches, gold patches, right? They got to take a shadow. I already explained this in other videos. So, you will never see an inmate talking to ISU or IGI, like on a GP, level 3 or level 4. It's just not going to happen. It just would have been weird, right? Now you're talking to a detective in the middle of a yard, in the housing unit. It's just all bad, right? They just always say, I ain't coming out. I ain't talking to nobody. Leave me alone, right? So we would have to sneak them to come and like talk, right? So they don't get fronted off in front of their peers. Now let's fast forward to Donovan. 2014 to 2022, right? Where I resigned as a lieutenant after a combined years of 16 total. Wildest thing I ever seen. By far the weirdest, wildest, not cool. Everybody's telling like it's everybody's business. People telling so much, I'm telling them, stop. I don't want to hear anymore, man. You just came in here for an RER hearing. I don't need to know who's doing what out there. I don't care. It's a disaster. You guys are stealing, using. I don't want to be here right now, my boy. You know what I mean? Like, all bad. All bad, right? I didn't call him my boy. This is just, you know, I can say that now. I don't work there. This is great. So, one of the weirdest things I saw, man. One of the weirdest things I saw. All right. Compiled, right? This was a compilation of a bunch of shenanigans. Was ISU on the yard and inmates just chopping it up with them, right? Just chop in front of other inmates. And I'm like, you know, people that know, people that been elsewhere, people that been around, just knows it just doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. That's common sense. They got the golf carts, right? Probably each prison has golf carts, you know, where the lazy administrators drive back and forth, right? Managers are too lazy to walk, let alone walk to the housing unit and actually see what's going on in the building. Catastrophe, right? You have ISU driving the golf cart, man. You got the inmate with his arm around his shoulder. Hey, Jim. Hey, Bill. Saying what's up to the inmates walking to medical. Hey, everything's all good. I'm like, no, everything is not all good. This should not be happening. Right? Man, I want to go back to GP. I want to go back. Anyways, there's going to have to be a part 2. This whole part 1 was based on how do people tell in prison. I didn't even get into the consequences of what can happen, right? You're going to get beat up, stabbed. It's going to be bad. It's going to be all bad, right? Nothing good about that, okay? So the message for today, right, is if you partake in a certain way, a good, positive manner, you don't got to worry about telling on either side of the fence, telling, just mind your own business. The message for today is mind your own business. Keep pushing forward.